Today, I stand before you not to teach you something new, but to awaken what has always been within you, the infinite power of your own mind. You have been told to look outside for answers, to chase, to strive, to beg life for blessings. But the truth is, creation begins and ends within you. Every event, every person, every circumstance you have ever known has emerged from the secret theater of your imagination. The world you see is only the echo of the world you believe. I will not give you new eyes, for you already see. I will activate your vision, the divine power to mold reality with thought, to breathe life into desire, and to command existence itself to obey the state you choose to dwell in. From this moment, you will remember you are not a spectator of life. You are its author. Imagination is the only reality. What if I told you that everything you have ever touched, seen, or known is not reality itself, but only the shadow of your imagination made visible? The world you walk through each day is not solid in the way you have been taught to believe. It is fluid, responsive, and obedient to the unseen force that governs all experience, your imagination. Before a single structure was built, it existed in thought. Before any song was heard, it was first composed in silence. Before you ever met a friend, a lover, or a teacher, you had already summoned them through the quiet vibrations of your inner assumptions. Life is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Imagination is not a child's plaything, nor is it a passing daydream. It is the creative workshop of the infinite, the place where every reality begins. The unseen world of your mind is the womb of creation. You may call it vision, you may call it consciousness, or divine intelligence. But by whatever name you choose, it is the same power that spoke the universe into being. This is the same power breathing through you now, waiting to be directed with intention. When you look around and see chaos, scarcity, or limitation, you are not observing truth. You are observing the picturing of old imaginal states that you once accepted as real. Every emotion, every belief, every mental image has left its footprint in your world. The outer life you live is nothing but the crystallized result of your inner conversations. Change those conversations, and you change everything. Most people believe that imagination is unreal, a fantasy to escape from reality. But the opposite is true. The so-called real world is a reflection, and imagination is the cause. You are living inside the result of what you have imagined, knowingly or unknowingly. If you wish to alter your circumstances, you must go to the root, not the branch. The root is within. The creative act is not performed by the hands or the voice, but by the silent command of the mind. Think of the moments in your life that came seemingly by chance, the opportunities, the coincidences, the people who appeared at the perfect time. Were they truly accidents, or were they drawn to you by a pattern of energy you once held in thought? The universe is not random. It is mathematical in its precision and mystical in its operation. It mirrors back the frequency you broadcast through imagination and feeling. You cannot receive what you have not already pictured. You cannot live what you have not first conceived. Every great invention, every masterpiece, every revolution that shaped the course of history began as an invisible image within the mind of one who dared to believe it was real. The airplane existed in the mind of a dreamer before it defied gravity. The light bulb shone first in the imagination before it illuminated the world. The very device through which you hear these words was once a mere fantasy. All these were born from imagination, the only place where creation truly begins. You may say, but I have imagined many things that never happened. And I tell you that is because you did not imagine them with conviction. You merely played with them as possibilities, never clothed them with feeling. Imagination alone is not enough. It must be impregnated with the emotion of certainty. When the image and the feeling become one, when you feel your wish as already fulfilled, then the invisible becomes inevitable. You are the sculptor of your fate, and imagination is your chisel. Every thought is a stroke upon the marble of consciousness. Some carve beauty, others carve fear, but both are creations of the same hand, yours. To master life, you must master the pictures you allow to live within your mind. Guard them with awareness, nurture them with belief, and they will grow into form as surely as a seed breaks open to meet the sun. Do not wait for outer evidence before you believe. Do not ask life to show you proof before you commit to your vision. The proof is the experience that follows your inner certainty. The world cannot resist a mind that knows what it imagines is real. When you see yourself wealthy, loved, healthy, free, and persist in that seeing, the world must yield to your command. Your imagination is sacred. It is the divine canvas on which your destiny is painted. When you dare to imagine differently, you begin to rewrite the script of your life. Let others call it illusion. They are merely describing the limits of their own sight. You, however, are not bound by what is seen. You are a being of consciousness, and consciousness knows no limits. Close your eyes for a moment. Withdraw from the noise of the outer world and enter the secret place within. See the life you wish to live, not as a dream, but as something happening now. Feel it in your body. Smell the air of that reality. Hear the sounds of that world. Feel the gratitude as though it were already yours. Stay there until it becomes more real than what your senses tell you. For what you assume to be real in imagination will soon harden into fact. The time has come for you to remember who you are, not a victim of circumstance, but the source of it. You are not a creature wandering through a pre-written story. You are the author, the director, and the star of your own play. The stage of life bends to the vision you hold in mind. Imagination is not something you use, it is what you are. So I say to you now, imagine boldly, imagine freely, imagine beautifully. The world will mirror your inner world without fail. When you awaken to this truth, you no longer live in reaction, you live in creation. You cease asking, what will happen to me? And begin declaring, this is what I choose to experience. And that is the moment you become truly alive, for you have discovered that imagination is indeed the only reality. The power of assumption. There comes a moment in every awakened soul when it realizes that waiting is the greatest illusion. We have been taught to wait for signs, to wait for opportunities, to wait for miracles. But creation does not wait. The universe does not respond to hesitation, it responds to assumption. Assumption is not wishful thinking. It is the quiet yet mighty decision to claim your desire as already done. It is the acceptance of a truth before the world has caught up to it. When you assume a state and persist in it, the whole of creation begins to move to make your assumption a fact. Every moment, you are assuming something about yourself and your world. These assumptions, conscious or unconscious, define your experience. You assume that you are lucky and life unfolds with grace. You assume that you are unwanted and the world reflects indifference. Assumption is the unseen author of your fate. The outer world is not fighting against you, it is obeying you with perfect precision. Whatever you assume yourself to be, that you shall become. To assume is to enter the feeling of the wish fulfilled. To live in the end, even before the evidence appears. This is the sacred act that transforms the invisible into the visible. You do not beg the world to change. You change your conception of yourself, and the world follows. If you desire wealth, you must assume the state of wealth now, not someday, but this very moment. Walk, talk, and think as the one who already possesses what they once desired. If you seek love, feel loved. If you long for healing, feel whole. The assumption, once fully accepted, becomes the law of your reality. People ask, how can I believe in what my senses deny? The answer is simple: your senses are servants, not masters. They report what you have previously imagined and assumed to be true. They are latecomers, showing you the harvest of yesterday's belief. To live by sight is to live in bondage to the past. To live by assumption is to command the future. You must dare to ignore appearances and trust the unseen truth you hold within. Assumption is faith in motion. It is the inner certainty that precedes all miracles. You do not wait for evidence. You are the evidence. When you assume a state with full conviction, life bends to your decision. The phone call comes, the opportunity appears, the right people show up. Not because you force them to, but because you enter the frequency where they already existed. The world does not change because you chase it. It changes because you became something new. Imagine the actor who must become the character before stepping onto the stage. He does not hope to feel the part, he assumes it. He lets go of who he was and takes on the identity of who he must be. You too must perform this sacred act of becoming. To assume your desire is not to pretend, it is to identify. Pretending keeps the desire distant, assuming brings it close. Pretending says, I hope this will happen. Assumption declares, it already has. Assumption is not about arrogance, it is about alignment. You are not commanding the universe from ego, but from union with the creative force that lives through you. When you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you are not demanding something from outside yourself. You are recognizing that it already exists within. The infinite has already said yes. It waits only for you to agree with it through assumption. Your assumption is the seed. The feeling you hold is the soil. Persistence is the water that nourishes it. You do not dig up the seed every day to check if it is growing. You assume its growth, even in the darkness. You trust the unseen process until it bursts forth into visible form. That is the discipline of assumption, to hold unwavering faith in the unseen until it becomes seen. Many fail not because they cannot imagine, but because they do not persist. They assume for a moment, then surrender to doubt. They plant the seed and uproot it with disbelief. But the law is unchanging: persist in the assumption, and it must manifest. Your persistence is proof of your faith. The moment you give up, you declare that the unseen world has no power, and so the outer world agrees with you. But when you hold fast, when you refuse to accept anything less than the fulfillment of your vision, the universe has no choice but to obey. You may wonder, what if I assume wrongly? Yet even a wrong assumption proves the law, for it too becomes your reality. Life never asks whether your assumptions are worthy or unworthy. It simply reflects them. You can always assume anew. Each moment offers you a fresh beginning, a new identity to embody. You are not bound by the past unless you assume that you are. So test this truth. Tonight, before you sleep, enter the state of your wish fulfilled. Close your eyes and imagine the scene that would imply your desire is now reality. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the peace. Let the feeling saturate your consciousness until you drift into sleep carrying that assumption. When you wake, continue to live as though it were already true. Watch how the invisible hand of creation rearranges circumstances to mirror your inner certainty. You are not a beggar in this universe. You are a creator in disguise. Every assumption is a decree spoken by your higher self. The moment you accept a thing as true within, the outer world begins to build the path toward it. Whether you assume greatness or defeat, love or loneliness, abundance or lack, the law works the same. It cannot fail you, it can only mirror you. The power of assumption is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. It takes the vision born in your inner world and translates it into form. When you master this art, you no longer wait for destiny, you design it. You no longer hope for miracles, you become the miracle. So assume boldly, assume beautifully, assume deliberately. Do not ask life what it will give you. Tell it who you are. Declare within yourself, I am already the one I wish to be. Let that be your truth. Persist until the world agrees. For the world is not testing you, it is revealing you. And when you understand this, you will walk as a master of your fate, knowing that assumption, sustained and felt, is the golden key that unlocks all reality. The inner scene precedes the outer act before a single event unfolds in your visible world. It has already been written upon the screen of your inner mind. Every conversation, every encounter, every twist of fate you experience is first rehearsed within the unseen corridors of imagination. The outer act is never the beginning. It is the echo. Life is not pushing you forward. It is reflecting what you have already accepted within yourself. The stage of the world performs the script of your inner state with flawless accuracy. When you finally grasp this, you will stop fighting the effects and begin to master the cause. There is an invisible current that precedes every manifestation, a silent arrangement made in thought and feeling long before the evidence appears. The world is a mirror, faithfully reflecting your inner atmosphere. You cannot encounter love if within you is the story of rejection. You cannot meet abundance if the inner scene is painted with fear of lack. The world can only show you what you secretly assume to be true about yourself. Change the script within, and the cast around you must change with it. Think for a moment of an actor stepping into a role. Long before he appears before an audience, he has rehearsed the lines, felt the emotions, lived the inner life of the character. The performance is but a shadow of that inward preparation. In the same way, your daily life is the performance of the inner play you have been rehearsing, often unconsciously. The words you speak, the people you meet, even the coincidences that appear, all are the stage props of your inner drama. To master life, you must learn to direct the inner scene with deliberate intention. This means becoming aware of the conversations you hold with yourself in silence. It is there, in that sacred theater, that the future is being scripted. Every complaint, every fear, every silent doubt is a line in the play you are about to perform. But so is every vision of success, every feeling of gratitude, every moment of joyful expectancy. Your inner world is not a private refuge. It is a creative workshop that the universe obeys without question. When you argue for your limitations, you instruct life to keep them alive. When you imagine yourself free, life begins to open the gates. The outer act cannot contradict the inner scene. This is the immutable law of consciousness. You may change cities, partners, jobs, or circumstances, yet if the same mental movie plays within, the same pattern will reappear. But once you change the movie, the entire set rearranges itself. Your imagination is the projector, and the world is the screen. If the picture displeases you, it is useless to blame the screen. You must return to the projector and alter the film. To do so, you close your eyes and begin to feel what you wish were true. You enter the scene of your fulfilled desire. You hear the voices congratulating you. You sense the environment of success, the feeling of completion. You live it inwardly until it becomes natural, until it feels more real than your current surroundings. Then you open your eyes and carry that vibration with you. That inner act has already rewritten the outer script. Some will say, but I cannot lie to myself. How can I feel something that isn't here yet? Yet the truth is that everything you have ever experienced began as something that wasn't here yet. Feeling is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. When you allow yourself to feel the new state, you call it into being. The universe is impersonal. It does not distinguish between imagination and reality. It only responds to the feeling impressed upon consciousness. Each night before you sleep, your mind replays the inner scenes you have most emotionally entertained during the day. These impressions sink into the deeper layers of consciousness, from which tomorrow's events will rise. That is why the wise guard their final thoughts before sleep. They understand that the mind's last vision becomes tomorrow's reality. If you end your day with worry, you sow the seeds of more worry. If you end it with peace and fulfillment, you water the garden of joy. You cannot live beyond your inner pattern. The law is simple: as within, so without. When your inner world is filled with harmony, gratitude, and certainty, the outer world must organize itself to reflect those states. This is not philosophy, it is experience. Observe your life closely, and you will see that every shift in your outer world was preceded by a shift within. A moment when you decided, even unconsciously, to see yourself differently. To consciously direct this process, begin each morning with an inner rehearsal. Close your eyes and picture the day as you wish it to unfold. See yourself confident, calm, and in command. Imagine successful encounters, peaceful interactions, favorable outcomes. Feel the quiet satisfaction of knowing it is already done. When you open your eyes, move through your day as though that inner vision were the most natural thing in the world. Soon it will be. Remember, nothing comes to you uninvited. Every event carries your energetic signature. The people who appear, the opportunities that arise, even the delays or rejections, all are shaped by your inner assumptions. The moment you shift your inner atmosphere, the script changes. Relationships heal, paths open, the impossible becomes ordinary. The world does not resist change, it reflects the changeless principle that consciousness creates. When you understand that the inner scene precedes the outer act, you cease being a victim of circumstance. You stop reacting and begin creating. You realize that the power has always been within you, waiting for your recognition. You become the conscious director of your life's movie, choosing each scene with intention and love. So now I say to you, take back the director's chair. Edit the story that no longer serves you. Erase the scenes of fear, of limitation, of doubt. Write new ones of confidence, prosperity, and joy. Feel them so vividly that the line between imagination and reality dissolves. For when the inner scene changes, the outer world must follow. It is law. And when you witness the transformation, when the once distant dream becomes your living reality, you will know it was not magic but mastery. You will see that life was never happening to you, it was happening from you. The world is your mirror, and the image it reflects is shaped by the vision you hold within. So guard that vision, honor it, live from it. Because the inner scene always, without fail, precedes the outer act. Feeling is the secret language of creation. If imagination is the blueprint of reality, then feeling is the breath that gives that blueprint life. Thought creates the pattern, but feeling gives it substance. Every creation begins not merely as an idea, but as a vibration born from emotion, a pulse that tells the universe, this is real for me now. The mind conceives, but the heart believes, and it is belief, felt deeply, that calls the unseen into form. Most people live entirely in their minds, repeating affirmations and visualizations like scripts read by an actor who feels nothing. But the universe does not respond to words, it responds to frequency, and feeling is frequency made human. You can speak 1,000 words of abundance, but if beneath them you feel lack, it is lack that will manifest. You can declare love with your lips, but if your heart beats with fear or doubt, it is fear that the world will echo back. Feeling is the secret language by which creation understands your command. The great error of humanity is thinking that emotion is a reaction to life, when in truth it is the cause of it. You are not feeling because of what happens is occurring because of what you feel. Feeling is the magnetic center of your reality, drawing to you experiences that match its tone. The law is precise. It cannot deliver joy to one who vibrates in sorrow, nor abundance to one who feels poor. Yet the moment you change your inner vibration, you alter the very fabric of your world. To master feeling is to master creation itself. You must learn to feel the end before it appears. Close your eyes and imagine your desire fulfilled, the dream realized, the victory achieved. Do not simply see it, feel it. What does it feel like to wake in that new life? What emotions rise in you when your wish is already fact? Let the warmth of gratitude flood through you. Let the relief wash over you. Let the joy sing quietly in your chest. Stay there until your body begins to believe it. That is the language creation understands. Many imagine with their minds while their hearts still whisper. It isn't real. But when mind and heart speak the same truth, reality bends instantly. Thought alone is the sketch. Feeling paints it in color. When you align the two, When the image in your mind is harmonized with the emotion in your body, manifestation becomes inevitable. You do not need to force it or chase it, it must appear, for you have entered its frequency. You might ask, how can I feel something that hasn't happened yet? The answer is that all states of being already exist within you. You do not create love, joy, or freedom. You select them. They are ever-present vibrations waiting for your attention. The moment you turn inward and choose to feel a new emotion, you have stepped into a new dimension of experience. The outer world will follow, but feeling moves first. The practice is simple, though not always easy. Discipline your inner atmosphere. Become a guardian of your feelings. Do not allow fear, doubt, or resentment to linger, for they are seeds that will grow in time. If you wish to change your life, change your emotional tone. Replace worry with faith, anger with calm, uncertainty with gratitude. Do it not once, but until the new feeling becomes natural. Life will mirror it without fail. Consider the way sunlight transforms a seed into a flower. Feeling is that sunlight to the seed of imagination. Without it, no growth occurs. You can plant hundreds of ideas in the soil of your mind, but without the warmth of emotion, they remain lifeless. Feeling animates the invisible, quickens it into being, and shapes it into form. Whatever you consistently feel, you fertilize. Whatever you withhold feeling from, withers away. When you hold a feeling long enough, the world begins to conform. People, events, and opportunities will appear as if by divine orchestration, because they are drawn by the vibration you maintain. Feeling is not passive, it is a creative force. The emotion you dwell in is a silent decree. When you live in constant gratitude, the universe must give you more to be grateful for. When you live in confidence, life presents reasons to trust yourself. You are never waiting for proof. You are producing it through the feelings you entertain. This is why gratitude is so powerful. It is the feeling of already having received. When you thank life before your desire appears, you are speaking the language of creation fluently. You are saying, "It is done," and the universe, hearing its native tongue, answers, "So it is." Gratitude turns longing into possession, and possession into expansion. But be warned, feelings cannot be faked. Pretending to feel abundance while secretly fearing lack is like trying to sing two songs at once. The dissonance cancels the melody. You must become the feeling, not imitate it. Enter it deeply until your breath, posture, and thoughts harmonize with it. This is embodiment. When the feeling becomes natural, the manifestation becomes certain. Do not wait for life to give you a reason to feel joy. Give life your joy and watch it multiply. Do not demand proof before you feel secure. Feel security, and proof will come. The external follows the internal as surely as the tide follows the moon. The order cannot be reversed. You may change your entire destiny in a single moment of feeling. One profound shift from fear to faith, from despair to gratitude, can rewrite years of limitation. Feeling is the prayer that never fails, for it speaks directly to the creative source within you. It bypasses logic, it transcends words, it communicates in vibration. And vibration is the substance of everything. So tonight, when the world grows quiet, close your eyes and sink into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Do not ask how it will come, feel that it already has. Let that feeling cradle you until sleep carries it deep into the fertile soil of your subconscious. When morning comes, walk as one who already possesses what they once desired. For creation listens not to your words, but to your vibration. Feeling is its language, its heartbeat, its command. Master that language, and the universe becomes your echo. So feel boldly, feel beautifully, feel deliberately. For feeling is the secret language of creation, and through it, you can speak worlds into being. You are the operant power. There is a truth so profound, so simple, that when you finally grasp it, the entire weight of struggle falls away. You are the operant power. You are not the effect of the world. You are its cause. You are not a pawn moved by fate. You are the hand that moves the board. The power that creates galaxies, that breathes stars into existence, that paints universes with light and shadow, is the same power that beats your heart and imagines your dreams. It is not outside of you, it is you. The moment you accept this truth, you reclaim dominion over your reality. All that you see, every face, every circumstance, every event, is responding to the consciousness that you embody. You are the creative center of your world, the unseen force animating all experience. Nothing has independent power over you. No person, no condition, no so-called obstacle can dictate your fate unless you grant it authority through belief. The outer world bows to the inner one. When you stand firm in your awareness of being the operant power, you no longer plead with life. You command it through consciousness. You may have been conditioned to believe that some external god, luck, or destiny governs your life, but creation does not work through favoritism. It works through law, and the law responds to consciousness alone. You cannot beg for what you already are. You cannot chase what is already within. The power to create lies not in effort, but in awareness. The moment you know that your imagination, your feeling, and your assumption create reality, you begin to operate as the divine being you were born to be. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a vessel of infinite creative force. Every thought you entertain, every emotion you sustain, every vision you accept as true. These are the tools by which you shape the fabric of existence. You are the artist, and life is your canvas. When you realize this, you stop reacting and begin directing. You cease waiting for signs and begin sending them. You stop asking for permission and begin proclaiming, I am. To know you are the operant power is to live in mastery. It does not mean denying what your senses report. It means recognizing them as the reflection of your consciousness, not the dictator of it. You look upon the outer world and say, this too shall change, for I am the cause behind it. You stop wrestling with appearances because you understand that appearances are old imaginations taking form. When you alter the cause, your inner state, the effect must follow. The law has no choice. Power is never outside of awareness. You cannot pray to it, plead with it, or bargain for it. You can only be it. The key is to identify with it so completely that separation disappears. Feel the truth that your own imagination is divine, your consciousness infinite, your assumptions creative. When you claim that identity, you step into the throne room of creation. Then every thought becomes a decree, every emotion a command, every assumption a seed destined to bloom. To operate this power consciously, you must first accept responsibility for everything in your experience. Not in guilt, but in authority. Responsibility means the ability to respond, not to blame. It is the recognition that whatever exists in your world was first conceived in your inner world. Once you understand this, you stop trying to fix effects and go directly to the cause. You no longer fight circumstances, you revise them within. You do not fear the future, you create it now. The unawakened mind says, I will believe it when I see it. The awakened mind knows, I will see it when I believe it. This is the essence of being the operant power. To know that belief precedes evidence, that consciousness precedes form. Life does not test you, it reflects you. You are not being judged, you are being mirrored. Every experience, pleasant or painful, is your own creative energy made visible. Change the image within, and the reflection must alter. When challenges arise, do not curse them. See them as reminders of your creative authority. Ask yourself, what inner state must I be entertaining for this to appear? Then shift that state deliberately. Enter a new assumption. Feel its reality until the old dissolves. The more you practice this, the more effortless it becomes. You begin to see that nothing truly happens to you. Everything happens through you. Your imagination is not a small private world, it is the workshop of creation itself. The moment you accept an idea as true, you set the forces of life into motion. Events rearrange themselves, people shift roles, time bends, all to fulfill the command of your inner decree. You need not know how. The how belongs to the unseen intelligence that governs manifestation. Your task is simply to assume, to feel, to persist. For you are the operant power, not the mechanic. And remember, you are always operating the power, whether consciously or unconsciously. Every fear, every doubt, every complaint is also an act of creation. The law does not discriminate between what you want and what you fear. It delivers what you feel as real. To live as a master, you must awaken from unconscious creation. Be deliberate. Be intentional. Let no thought dwell in you that you do not wish to see expressed in form. When you stand tall in this awareness, life becomes an unfolding miracle. You cease waiting for destiny, for you realize you are destiny. You stop asking, when will things change? And instead declare, they are changing now, because I have changed. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. You are aligning with the truth that creation is finished, and consciousness selects which version you experience. So speak with power, imagine with conviction, and feel with certainty. Let every moment remind you of who you are, not a seeker of miracles, but the source of them. When you walk in this knowing, even silence becomes creative, and even stillness becomes movement. For the great truth remains unbroken. You are the operant power. The world moves when you move within. The heavens respond to your inner tone. Life echoes the state you occupy. And when you finally accept this, not as philosophy, but as experience, you will awaken to the most liberating realization of all: nothing was ever outside your control, for the power was never outside of you.